There is something about the classic look of a wood and rattan seat that just feels right when you are out on the water, but finding replacements that actually hold up is usually a headache. These 34-inch seats from Yerliker show up as a pair, which is a nice touch because let's be honest, if one seat is starting to fray or sag, the other one is probably not far behind. You get 2 of these in the box, so you can swap them both out at once and keep the boat looking consistent. The build is pretty straightforward, using ash wood for the frame and that traditional woven rattan for the seating area. It feels sturdy enough to handle a full day of paddling, and the ash has that nice, solid weight to it without being overly heavy. Now, here is the catch that you really need to keep in mind before you pull the trigger on these. They do not come pre-drilled. That means you are going to be doing some measuring, marking, and drilling yourself to get them to fit your specific canoe frame. It is not exactly a plug-and-play situation. You might even need to trim the wood down a bit depending on how wide your gunnels are, so make sure you have a saw and a drill handy before you start the project. It is a bit of extra work, but it does mean you can get a custom fit that feels much more secure than some of those universal plastic clip-on seats that always seem to wiggle around. The rattan itself is surprisingly comfortable. It stays relatively dry and doesn't get that sticky, swampy feeling you get with foam or rubber seats when the sun is beating down. Just a heads up though, because it is natural material, you really have to be diligent about wiping them down after a trip. If you leave them sitting in a damp boat or store them in a humid garage, that wood is going to complain pretty quickly. It is a bit of maintenance, but for that classic aesthetic and the breathability you get, it is usually a fair trade-off. The dimensions are about 34 by 10 inches, which is a pretty standard footprint for most canoes, fitting well in both the bow and the stern. It is a solid, no-nonsense upgrade for anyone looking to ditch those worn-out factory seats. Just go into it, knowing you are signing up for a little bit of DIY installation time. If you don't mind spending an hour in the workshop getting the fit just right, these are a great way to refresh the boat without breaking the bank.
Check out the video description for updated price. And thank you for watching this video.